And also, you know, the mixed-use buildings with the retail and the restaurant on the ground floor. Versus this side of the street, which has very inconsistent street tree pattern, blank walls, parking lots. Where would you rather be?
I have a quick question, John.
The University Art Museum is more than just about showing the art. It's also about, you know, kind of like having a laboratory for thinking about things conceptually. So there's a big move, there's a huge fundraising drive that's going on about building a new art museum. And it would be located here, a much more accessible location. You could take BART to it. You wouldn't have people driving up and down Durant and Bancroft to get to it. And this particular design, this museum is being designed by Toyo Ito, who's one of the world's foremost museum architects. If you guys know the work of Frank Gehry, it's a little bit like Frank Gehry, only it's not just the skin that does those kinds of things. It's actually the structural system that does all sorts of expressionist sort of moves. So, very exciting, very exciting. The design history of the campus is really cool. You know, I mean, I'm not going to get into it now, but those who don't know it, you know, I want to pique your curiosity. Anyway, so Strawberry Creek goes into a culvert here. It comes out a little while for a block or two down farther west of here, but then it goes into the bay again. So there's just active interest throughout Berkeley on daylighting creeks, and in this case, the idea would be not to literally daylight something, but to at least get some sense of some awareness of the creek in the downtown itself. So here you can see it's going into this culvert. The latest thinking, well, Walter Hood, who's a professor of landscape architecture up at Worcester, has been looking at it for the Eco-City Builders Group. The city does not yet have an official design, okay, for Center Street. But the design that Walter Hood is developing for this nonprofit group basically would pump some water out of Strawberry Creek and have it circulate down Center Street. There's lots of different ways you could do it. It would not be the full flow. It would only be some small flow of it. Again, because when this thing hits flood stage, it's a huge amount of water. So most of the water still needs to go in the main culvert. But some piece of that water, some small portion, constant sort of volume, part of that water could go down Center Street and could become, you know, this water feature. And whether it would be have lots of oak trees like this, or whether it would be more of a modernist sort of interpretation of the trees, is still